let's look at the groups. Let's look at these. We're gonna dive into our World Cup breakdowns here. We're gonna break down each group briefly and get through all of them, so you guys are ready to go. We will be live. We're gonna try to go live for these games and these matchups coming up for USA for sure. USA, we're gonna do our best to dive into and stream each and every single one of those games. We'll let you know.
We'll start with that first game and see how it goes, I think, and kind of get a feel for how it's working. If it's not working, if you all hate us, that's fine too, but I hate me sometimes, so
yeah,
it makes sense.
But we're going to try to put some fun things together. We have some things in mind. We're playing around with ideas of how we can make it fun for you guys if you guys are just casual football, soccer fans, and we'll do what we can. But it's going to, either way, Scotty, and you and I will have fun, whether we have 2 people watching us or 1,500. I don't know. We're never going to get that high, but I'm just saying. My country in Group F has Belgium and Croatia. Wrecked. Oof. That's a tough one. So you will see that U.S. Who's winning Group A, by the way? So we're going to dive into that here. U.S. is nuzzled in there. Group B with England, Iran, and Wales.
Nuzzled
in there.
First time we've used that word in 2 years on this stream. I like it.
Yeah. We're trying to mix it up here. And then Canada is another one that stands out to me. I mean, I look at Spain as my secondary. Love Spain, obviously. They're Group E with Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. That's actually that's a tough.
That group. Is, and Spain, Germany is going to be maybe the best group match that we have all World Cup for the group stage, at least.
And Japan is they always kind of hang around. They're not never really like the most prolific team, but they hang around in some of these games. So they play strong. You don't want to sleep on Japan. But Canada, Group F, been playing really good ball in the CONCACAF. And then also Mexico is in here too. Group C with Saudi Arabia, with Argentina, Lionel Messi in that one, and Poland. That'll be interesting to see how Mexico fares in that one. I think they should be able to get out of there, but we'll see. I don't know. Poland, I think Argentina's probably the shoe-in. And then, I don't know. We'll dive into that as well. Any other things that stand out here? I mean, just looking at the groups as a whole before we dive in.
Not necessarily stand out. I would lean towards. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of tough groups. Group A might be the softest of all, and then honestly, Group B is not that great either, to be honest. Which is good for the U.S.
Yeah,
doesn't even mean, and that doesn't mean the U.S. is a shoo-in by any means, because they're not even close to that. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, A's rough, and Netherlands is there, Ecuador, Senegal's okay, but not good enough. I don't know. Yeah, A sucks. A's not the greatest.
No.
B.
No, you don't. I mean, Netherlands is because every group has one of the top 8 teams in the world. Well, 7, and then the hosting city. So this is the one that has the hosting city. So Qatar, this is the one that doesn't have one of the top 7 teams in the world in it, Chris. Yeah. Because Qatar hosting gets to be the 1 seed in that division. Whereas all the others have, as you see, England, Argentina, France, Spain, Belgium, Brazil, and Portugal. Little better teams than Qatar.
Okay, so to start off, before we dive into the groups, we're everything you need to know. I'm just going to rattle off some things here on what you guys need to know for the World Cup coming up this weekend. So, where is it being held? It's in Qatar. Qatar is going to be building. They built out all these stadiums all over the place, and they're like state of the art. There's a lot of stuff going on with the whole stadium controversies and things. We're not going to dive into that. That's human rights stuff that needs to be addressed on a different show. But either way, Qatar is hosting, and it is taking place during the fall as opposed to the summer, because basically it's hotter than shit out there, right, Scotty?
In the summer it would have been unbearable. Yeah.
And
thanks a lot, corrupt FIFA, for having it in Qatar in the first place.
Yeah. How can you watch it? Fox Family networks, you can watch it in a lot of places. Make sure you're tuning in, but mainly I think Fox is kind of one of the big ones there. What do we got?
I'm gonna play this on my Qatari.
There you go. Hey, love that, Rec. There we go. Hi-oh. What else do we got here? The games will be played in, all sorts of different stadiums that are like built and like they have like all this special air conditioning, state-of-the-art air conditioning units that heat you from like the seats by your legs up into your face and like all these things. It's crazy. There are 32 teams split into 8 groups, as you can tell, letters A through H. Starting in 2026, the number of teams will be expanded to 46 for the first time. So keep an eye on that. That's going to be kind of interesting. Group stage, 2 teams of each group advance on to the round of 16. So from there, it's a round robin initially with these group stages. Everyone plays each other. Once you get into the round of 16, it is a single elimination bracket style tournament. And maybe we do something fun with the bracket tournament once we get there, Scotty. That could be a lot of fun. I think we're too late right now, but maybe we do a bracket. The favorite for the World Cup is Brazil at the moment, followed by England, France, and Argentina as the top teams that are vying for the World Cup at the very end, winning it all, taking it all. Last year, it was France who hoisted the trophy. So France is in the tournament. They're going to be trying to defend their title, and they are one of the top favorites to do so. But it's going to be really tough to get there with all these other solid teams. United States did qualify, just in case you're living under a rock, and you're going to want to root for them because you don't see them very often here. So United States, Canada, and Mexico.
They only missed it once, Chris, recently. They've made it every other time since like 94.
Yeah, but they don't really compete very well.
Well, they usually get out of their group.
Yeah, they
recently
do.
When they're
they
in.
do.
Give them some credit.
I just want them to see. I want a deep run. The U.S. hosted the World Cup in 1994. Mexico hosted the World Cup in 1986. Canada and Mexico will host in 2026. So just some
U.S., Canada, and Mexico, with most of it being in the U.S.
Correct. So there you go. There's a rapid fire of some of the basics of what you need to know going into this. Who's going to win? Come out of Group A. Vote. There you go. Netherlands is first. Keep voting. Let's dive into that group. And, I mean, we can just kind of go over some of the things we're looking for in these groups here. Obviously, of these, I think Netherlands is going to be the team that I'm looking for in this one. I mean, they did not qualify in 2018, but they are here in this one. You also have Ecuador, which they didn't qualify. The highest finish in 2006 was around a 16. You have Qatar, who's just here for the ride because they host. And you have Senegal, who is in 2018 finished in the group stage, was their best, and their highest finish was the quarterfinals ever. So, Scotty, what are you looking for here? Who do you like?
I mean, this one's pretty clear as far as what 2 teams I think will advance. When you look at it, it should be Netherlands and Senegal.
Of their ice cream.
How do you teach kids about tax? Eat 30. Yeah, that's true.
No, I mean, that makes sense. That's it's eventually it'll probably be 70% the way we're going, Chris. But at least I get more ice cream out of it, which might be good now because I have ate nothing today. Anyway, the thing about it is if you trust FIFA rankings, which listen aren't the law, because obviously FIFA rankings are difficult to tabulate because a lot of these teams don't play each other and it's hard. But they have two of the bottom 4 teams in this group in all of this 32 team field, with Ecuador and Qatar being Ecuador ranked 44th in the world, Qatar 50th, only behind them Saudi Arabia at 51 and Ghana at 61. So Senegal is a strong team and it has a lot of talent on it. So I think they get in, and it wouldn't shock me if they won the group. Netherlands tends to a lot of times disappoint in the World Cup. Not that that means anything this time, but they've definitely been a team that's disappointed in the past. So should be interesting, but those are the 2 clear teams there.
Yep. Yeah, agreed. Netherlands, Senegal. Senegal, I think, will be I'm curious to see how they end up pushing down through this quarter, this initial group stage. But this is definitely one of the more uneventful groups so far. All right, so Netherlands and Senegal are both on what you guys have voted for so far in advancing. I mean, when you vote, by the way, it's the top two. We'll just do the top two that get votes. But Qatar and Ecuador both got a vote. So there you go. Group B. This one's where it's going to get interesting, guys, because you have a lot of teams. Like Scotty said, there's a lot of teams that like are backup teams for people when you're a USA fan. You mentioned England is here, which they are one of the top teams here in this tournament, right? They're one of the top 5 from a betting odds perspective to win this all. They're right behind Brazil, Argentina, Spain, and France. So they headline this B group. And then we also have, you got Iran, USA, and Wales. Wales, I think, is a interesting team in the sense that they did get in, and they can potentially be a thorn in the side of the USA to start out. USA has struggled leading up to the World Cup, and it's not a good situation going against Wales, who I feel like can be a tricky team. But I think that USA should come away with that one. They play here. We're going to be watching that one live on Twitch, so make sure you guys are joining in. Hit that follow button. Make sure you guys know exactly when we go live, especially in the afternoons when we are doing these matches. So, but USA is in this one as well. USA is kind of middle of the road when it comes to this tournament of betting odds. They're actually maybe top of the bottom third of this tournament when it comes to betting odds. Real quick, let's get to the chat. Champs of Africa, they are good. What's up, fella? What's up, G Girl? By the way, can we get a shout out? I don't think we got a shout out for Chairman earlier. Can we get a shout out for G Girl? Welcome in. Welcome. Oh, thank you, Rec. England winning it all. I'll cry and not the good cry, says STG. Giddy up, boys. There we go. Scotty, what are your thoughts on this Group B?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's kind of funny that England and Wales get paired in the same group, considering people think they're the same place. And we, a little confusion there, but they're not. And then, like I talked about, England's definitely the favorite here, as they should be, but haven't come in playing great in their last few matches prior in the lead up here, which the U.S. hasn't either. So that concerns me. Wales is playing for the first time in the World Cup since 1958. Chris, you don't think the U.S. makes it enough? 1958, the last time Wales made the World Cup. And then you have Iran. Milwaukee says the number 1 team in Asia. Literally, Chris, these other 3, Iran's more of a defensive squad where they're going to hold you, play defensive ball and kind of try and counterattack. But mostly they're going to try and keep it low scoring and stay in the game. So between obviously England, you'd expect to advance. Between the other 3, Chris, none of these would shock me at all. I mean, when you look at World Cup, FIFA rankings, talking about that again, I think U.S. is 15, Wales is 18, and Iran is 20. So all of these, thank you, Waden.
Welcome, man. Thank you. Who's your team and where you're from? I'd like to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, no, I know England made it to the Euro final before they lost to Italy, Nicholas, but that was a couple of years ago. I'm just talking recently, their last few matches coming into this, especially on the offensive side. But you got Harry Kane pictured here. Obviously a guy who, that's the one thing the U.S. has never had a dominant. A guy who's your number 9, your top forward, Chris, who you can trust to get in the box and put it away. The U.S. still doesn't have that, and it just shocks me with the amount of people that live in the United States that we can't find one dude who can head a ball or just get his body on it or something to place in the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, and I think a factor for the United States is Gio Reyna. I think Reyna needs to be a big piece. By the way, he's not new to this. I mean, he's got family from back in the day where he's got a little history. His dad played as well. And so he was a big time, name in United States men's national team soccer. So, I mean, I think this kid has a lot of potential. And I think I'm really excited to see. He's finally healthy after missing almost a full year with leg injuries. He's gifted as a 20-year-old. I like what he can bring. So I'm excited to see what he can do. But based on the FIFA ranking, what success looks like for the USA in this tournament is probably just getting out of this group stage, because that is going to be a huge aspect of the step that we're taking, especially when you're the youngest team in the tournament, going against these elite teams, right? I mean, that's the biggest aspect of this game. That, I mean, success. By the way, you mentioned Iran. Success for Iran. They haven't survived the group stage in 5 tries, so they just would be loving to get out of the group stage. So
let's keep that going.
Let's keep that going. Let's keep that to a point here. And Wales, they're just happy to be here, which, again, they're going to compete. Don't get me wrong. But I just think that they're going to have some struggles here in this matchup. So Group B. Who wins Group B? USA. England is number 2 in the voting. Vote, guys. Can I vote? I'm going to vote USA. Let's go vote. Let's go.
Yeah. USA is going to take it. And to be clear, so they will play, those 2 teams will play the 2 that advance from Group A in the round of 16.
Correct.
So the 16 teams that are left, the number 1 seed from Group A will play the second team from Group B, and the number 2 team from Group A will play the first seed, the winner of Group B, in the round of 16. So those first 2, so, right now we're looking at what? It would be US if they win the group versus Senegal, and England versus Netherlands in the round of 16.
Yep. So, come on, boys. Come on. USA. Let's get USA spammed in the chat. Come on, let's go.
USA.
Let's go. USA. Spam it. Let's go.
G girl, I don't know soccer. Educate me. That's what we're trying to do. Here. And if you want to just get involved for just one tournament every 4 years, or maybe if you want to do the women's as well, obviously that I think follows next year, so that we can do as well. And obviously, more people probably have watched the women's national team in the U.S. because they've been far more successful on the world stage.
They're so good. Yeah. Iran, number 1 team in Asia. England made it to Euro final before they lost to Italia, which didn't make the tournament. Good call, Scotty, on Belly, says Belly.
Isn't it weird that the Euro champion from 2020 isn't in the World Cup? Bizarre.
Yeah. Didn't one of you say the Celtics was going to be bad this season, LOL?
No.
I want to say if I said... I need to go back and listen to our NBA preview probably, but if I did, I said there would be some with all the stuff that going on. Maybe they would take a step back, but I mean, I didn't have them winning the East anyway, so I don't know. Maybe that was part of it. What else do we got? Argentina, says Nicholas. Hello, nice to meet you. I think United States lacks a lot of high level competition to be among the favorites.
Yeah, they're definitely not a favorite.
No, they're definitely,
like ESPN had top 50 players in the World Cup out today. Not a single U.S. player was on that list.
And again,
nor should they.
Part of it is because they are the youngest team in the tournament. I mean, there's not a lot of experience with these players. I mean, you got Pulisic who plays in the English Premier League. He's bounced around on some good teams, and most recently Chelsea. You have a lot of talent, but they just
this is the most talented roster they've ever had in a World Cup.
Correct.
The U.S. is improving, and this is a much more talented roster than they've ever had. Will that mean much? I don't know. I mean, really, they haven't made large runs. They made it to the quarterfinal, I think, back in like 2004-ish, I want to say, if I'm remembering right, after they beat Mexico in the round of 16, which was a lot of fun. But prior to that, their furthest run ever, I think, was like 1950. They made the semifinals of the World Cup. But this is, on paper, their most talented team, just not... It still falls short of the dominant teams at the top.
Yeah. Next up, Group C. We have Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland in this group. So this group, obviously, you guys know. You see the jerseys everywhere. You know who the big name and the one to watch in this one is. Argentina and Lionel Messi. They are the favorites. They are one of the favorites in this tournament. They are stacked. I mean, they have Lionel Messi, Angel Di Maria. They have just some really star-studded players that come from Argentina. So Messi, one of the greatest players to ever play the game, but he's 35, right? Can he win a title at 35? I mean, guys, you're not going to see one of the. You're gonna. This may be the last World Cup you ever see. I don't even think he'll be probably playing the next one, unless he's like pulling a Tom Brady and trying to like do everything he can to get there and play till he's like 100.
Cristiano's 37 and in this,
so who knows? But I mean,
I doubt it. This is probably the last one.
Could be the last time you see the excellence of Lionel Messi, who is one of the best to ever play the game. So that's one of the things to keep an eye out in this group. Winning the World Cup is what success looks like for Argentina here in this one. Last time they won the World Cup, they won it in 1978 and 1986. So they have won 2 total. And last year they finished in the round of 16. But they are one of the favorites here.
It must have been 2 World Cups ago that I think they made a final or at least a semifinal recently in a World Cup. But
yep. What do we got?
Without Lionel, Argentina will be in a messy situation.
They would be in a messy situation, for sure. I think that Poland and Argentina are going to be fun. Belly says, I know zero about soccer, so I'm learning tonight. Muchas gracias. Hey,
yeah.
de nada, mi amigo. De nada.
You're on Team Mexico, apparently.
But they are on the way to becoming a very good team. I hope so. I hope so. Is Ukraine playing in the cup? No, they did not qualify.
They actually lost in a play-in game against Wales.
Yep.
Ironically, so it came down to the winner of Ukraine-Wales was going to get put in the U.S. group, and Wales ended up winning that game. Although Ukraine was probably the favorite in that one, and Wales ended up coming out with the W.
Another team in this group that probably has higher expectations for themselves is Mexico. Mexico. Their highest finish ever has been the quarterfinals in 1970 and 1986. And I think that this one will be... I think this team's going to be interesting. I mean, I always kind of look at Mexico and I don't know, man. You play against them, in CONCACAF all the time. There's a bitter rivalry with USA and Mexico. But when it comes to this, I mean, I kind of like someone from the North American side to succeed, whether that's Canada, U.S., Mexico, to kind of, carry the torch for North America. But I don't know. I think that there's some things to like about Mexico here, but I think if they were to get past the round of 16, that would be successful for the Mexico squad here. But what do you think about?
Yeah,
what do you think
about? I think Mexico certainly. I think Saudi Arabia is the one that I'd be shocked if they make a run and get to the round of 16. Argentina. I mean, Argentina is maybe the number 2 favorite to win this all behind Brazil. So they've played phenomenally well in the last couple years. I like Poland over Mexico. I think Milwaukee said no one in that group will stop Lewandowski. Poland's just going to be out physical Mexico. And I don't know if Mexico's tough enough. Mexico, I mean, and has the bodies to hang with Poland, who's going to be bigger and stronger and faster. So for me, I lean towards Argentina and Poland coming out of this group.
G-Girl's asking about Cristiano Ronaldo, when his beautiful face is going to pop up. And he'll pop up.
He'll be here.
In the last group, Group H, and you'll see him playing for Portugal there. So don't worry. You'll see his beautiful face. By the way, guys, if you're just joining us, we will be streaming Team USA matches for the tournament as long as they go. So if they keep progressing, barring any other, family things we have going on, we should be streaming some of these, all the US games, and maybe a couple others we might sprinkle in if there's some good matchups. I think you have Spain and Germany at one point. You got some fun ones. So Argentina won the last Copa America in the final against Brazil and has a team that works very well for Messi. Yeah, I agree. I mean, they looked really good in that tournament. And again, Brazil's a power. They're the favorites, right? So the fact that they looked as good as they did was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they've never been able to get over the hump against Brazil in the Copa Americas. So this is a very talented Argentina team. It's not just Messi. There's a lot of pieces there. Jiro wants to know what pro team Cristiano Ronaldo plays for. He's back with Manchester United, where
but
the early stage of his career.
He was trending a little bit towards my boys at Arsenal this week. It was trending on Twitter. Obviously, there's a lot of there's a lot of things whether or not he's gonna move on to another team, and then what that's gonna look like. But yeah, crazy. So Chris took his annual work vacation for the World Cup. Yeah, exactly. I there's two tournaments year round, Scotty, that I always have one of my work computer monitors dedicated to a sport. 1, March Madness. 2, World Cup. There's always one monitor on a World Cup game. It just happens that way. Like, it just has to be that way. What else do we got here? Ronaldo will be gone from United soon. Whatever happened to Emil William? I'm not sure.
Ivanhoe. William Ivanhoe Heskey.
By the way, the other team in this one Saudi Arabia, we don't have super high expectations for. The other one is Poland. This one, I think getting out of the group stage for Poland would be a success. You mentioned Lewandowski. He's what you watch Poland soccer for. He has scored everywhere he has played except for the World Cup. He's Poland's all-time leading scorer, 74 goals, 134 caps. I mean, he should be able to find the back of the net this time around. He needs to score in the World Cup and get that off his back. So I think that that's going to be he's a fun player to watch. But I think the vote finished with Argentina winning the group. So there you go. Group D. Here we go. So Group D consists of France, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia. So from this group, there's one front runner that just stands out, and it's the defending champs. It's France. France is in the top. I think they're 4th in odds, betting odds, to win the whole thing, behind Brazil, Argentina, and Spain. So France is right there in the mix, and actually they're tied with Spain with even odds on that. So they won in 1998 and 2018, so they've won recently. And Mbappe, you see him in this graphic here, lit up the World Cup, previously, and he's going to be trying to fire on all cylinders for this one, right? I think this one's going to be fun. France is always a fun team to watch, right? But I think, we'll see. I think that there's no issue that they're going to be coming out of this group. I want to see him play against some of those top powers once they get past this group stage. But they got to get past Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia so far.
Milwaukee just said Mbappe not playing, though. Bad pick choice.
Is he? I thought... is he not playing?
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that at all. Did he get hurt?
I'm actually looking now. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see.
I'm trying to look too, because he's like my favorite person maybe to watch in the world.
I haven't seen any. I'm looking around. I haven't seen anything saying he's not going to play.
And I feel like that would be out there. It's pretty noteworthy. So I don't know that that's true. Milwaukee keeps saying he's out, but I don't see that anywhere.
The only thing I've seen is he rejected an offer to offer from Qatar to attend the group stage draw. That was like long time ago, but I don't know if that's it.
I mean, I saw on Paris Saint-Germain's PSG's November 6th match, he came off a little early, and it was like, but the coach basically said it was like muscle fatigue for him, but not a concern.
Yeah, I still think, he's playing. I haven't seen anything otherwise, so we're just gonna go with that. But still, France, very, very talented. Also have Denmark, Australia, and Tunisia in this group, and from all indications, I think Denmark is probably going to be another one. Tunisia's not very good, and Australia is not very good either. So, from what we would expect in this group would be those teams to come out, those top two.
Yep. Yeah, I think it'd be a surprise if it wasn't Denmark. Denmark's ranked number 10 in the world, so they're nothing to sneeze at. Christian Eriksen's a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
They'll be in the mix.
Yeah. Vote. France, Australia, Denmark, or Tunisia. Who comes out of this one? Who wins this? Who wins it outright? I think looks like some more votes coming in.
One apiece for a second there, so everyone's just trying to have some fun with it.
Well, if it wouldn't be an ActionLab poll if we didn't have a tie going, for the rest of this poll, realistically. The one who's not going to play is Conte for France. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I still think they're still a very talented and stacked roster. So, yeah, love what France brings here. Not a lot of a shock here for who should come out of this. I'm looking for anything else noteworthy on Denmark other than what you were saying. But yeah, I think what success looks like for them, if they can make the quarterfinals, they would be pretty happy with that. But it's going to take a lot. There's a lot of obstacles in the way there, but yeah, that's where we're at with this group. Keep voting on Group D while we talk about Group E. Group E here is set with my boys from Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. Now, you have a couple standard picks here with Spain and Germany coming into this one, both of which are top teams. Spain is, again, with France in the top 3 or 4 of betting odds, and Germany is right behind them and England. So they're pretty close in on this. They're usually perennial World Cup powers that usually get into this one, but both of these teams should be pretty successful in this round of in this Group E. Highest finish, Spain won in 2010, and they finished in the round of 16 in the last World Cup. Whereas Germany, they are winners in 54, 74, 90, and 2014. Last World Cup, they finished in the group stage. So kind of a surprise there. So, Scotty, we're talking about these two teams. Obviously Costa Rica and Japan are like playing catch up to these two teams. But what are you expecting from this group?
Yeah, two clear favorites. It feels weird to have both of these in a group because they're usually one of the top 7-8 teams in the world, so they can never be in a group together. Germany actually finds themselves 11th in the FIFA ranking, so they're a little outside that. So that's why they're placed together. Chris, the Spain style. Spain loves to hold on to the ball. They're fun to watch. A lot of skill, a lot of passing, a lot of that stuff, but at times, what they struggle to do is finish.
Yep.
Not always, but in recent history, getting that last shot or even getting it to the point of, they could pass it around back and forth for ages without actually doing anything with the ball. But they're incredibly talented. Should win this group with Germany following them up there. But I forgot about Germany not advancing after being defending World Cup champions in 14, not getting out of the group in 18. I forgot about that. So a lot of pressure on them. If they do that again, that country might just erupt.
Spain, I think, is an interesting. So the style of Spain, the product of Spain, like you mentioned, they methodically pass the ball and possess. They possess the ball. They struggle with finishing, and they struggle with transition defense getting back. They just, against fast teams, they'll push up, and then all of a sudden a turnover and transition backward. They get in a lot of trouble. So that's where they are going to have some troubles there. But I think that overall their talent is, Jordi Alba's coming back. Morata's coming back. They have a lot of players that are going to be in the mix here, which will, I think, push them over. I think that, they are capable of winning it all. I think they're a little ways away. I think they're actually one World Cup away from winning it all. I think they're probably in that realm of they can make a nice run, maybe make, to the round, like a later round in the tournament, but fall short. And then I think the next World Cup, they have a really, really good shot. I think they're going to be potential top 1 or 2 favorites going into the next one. But yeah, going to be interesting to see. So, guys, vote. Who do you like in this group? Who's going to come away with it? Is it going to be Spain, Germany, Costa Rica, Japan? Didn't really talk too much about Costa Rica, Japan, but
Costa Rica is the worst team coming out of the CONCACAF in this. So that's the region that qualifies with the U.S., with Costa Rica, Mexico, Canada. Costa Rica is a pretty distant fourth in my mind of those teams. So I'd be surprised if they make a run. And Japan's got some skill and talent, but might run into issues against more talented squads in Spain and Germany.
Hey, what's going on? What's up, Sal? How we doing? Welcome in. Hope you're having a great night. Who's your team and where are you from? Like to get to know you a little bit. Highest finish for Japan, by the way, is round of 16. They finished round of 16 in 2002, 2010, 2018. So anything past that, I mean,
they made it out of the group quite a bit recently. So certainly possible for them to do so again.
I mean, given Germany didn't make it out last year,
we're going pretty chalky here, but surprises always happen in the World Cup.
Absolutely.
I mean, and soccer is just such a finite. You could dominate the play, and you could still lose the game just on a fluke counter goal or anything like that. So the better team certainly does not always win in soccer.
Let's see. What else do we have in the chat? Oh boy, mix of Hispanics and Axis powers. We have Spain change, and Germany's always the best at the best level. Germany came in with the older squad in 2018. They're transitioning to the younger kids now, which, again, I mean, there's talent there too. My team is Mexico. I am from the USA. What's up? Nice.
Nice, Sal.
We just got done talking about Mexico. So, yeah. Hey, there you go.
We're both in Denver, and there's probably there's more Mexico fans in Denver than there is U.S. fans.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so vote. Get your votes in. Guys, we will be covering World Cup for at least the USA games. Spain is the winner. 7 votes for Spain, 1 for Germany, 1 for Costa Rica. Hey, go Costa Rica.
Let's go Costa Rica. Lovely place to travel to, though.
Group F. So if you're talking about a group that I'm really fascinated with, it's going to be Group F because, one, you have Belgium. Belgium is going to be a top 6 team betting favorites for this tournament. They are always bringing a top squad here. So can't wait for the World Cup, says Sal. Football wife, Group F.
Group F.
She loves her F. But Belgium is kind of highlighting this group, the favorites to come out of this one. But, when you're talking about Group F, you got Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. And, I mean, I'm interested from what I've seen from Canada recently, but I think Croatia's the better team, when it comes to, those two head-to-head. I think Croatia's the team that should come out of this one, but I'm not sleeping on Canada. They've been playing some good ball, and maybe I'm biased from what I've seen in the CONCACAF and how they've played against USA and versus Mexico, 2 teams, and I know it's probably not going to be the same level of competition with some of these other teams over the course of this tournament, but I think Croatia presents a strong challenge, and I think, I don't know, I'm interested on Canada.
Yeah, I mean, this top to bottom, this is a pretty tough group. Belgium's always a monster. They haven't quite reached expectations. They had huge expectations in the last World Cup, didn't quite reach them, and then even the last couple. I think the last time the U.S. played in the World Cup, it was a loss to Belgium, if I'm not mistaken, in the round of 16, in overtime, actually. But anyway, Belgium's the clear favorite here. Croatia, obviously, has had some success in the World Cup, probably the number 2 here, but it would not surprise me. Morocco's really good. Canada won CONCACAF this year. Alphonso Davies is the best player in North America.
Yep.
And he plays for Canada. Now their depth beyond that is a little concerning to me, but when you have top tier talent like they have with Alphonso Davies, anything is possible. But yeah, I just really think this one's going to be a fascinating group to watch. Wouldn't surprise me if any team makes it, and it wouldn't shock me if Belgium didn't even make it into the round of 16 either. But they're the clear favorite.
Scott, are you the son of Nuggets coach Michael Malone? You are very similar. Haha.
Mike, I hope. How tall is Michael Malone? I hope I'm at least taller than him. He's pretty short, right?
There you go.
Okay, I'll take it. I've been called way worse. I got called Popovich one time, so I'll take Michael Malone. I know I said Mike Malone. He doesn't like that. If you remember Chris, so I'll roll with Michael Malone. I'll take it. I'm not the son of Michael Malone, but.
SDG, I want Canada to score. I just want Canada to score a goal. They haven't been in a World Cup since my birth year. Well, they haven't been. So the last time they were in a World Cup was their highest finish. They had a group stage in 1986, and they haven't made it at all since. So yeah, Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David, kind of highlight that. I think with this getting out of the group would be a success for them. As far as successful for Belgium, I think final or bust. They need to get to the final. I mean, that's kind of where their success will lie on that end. But yeah, I just some star power with Canada that I'm excited to see. When it comes to Morocco and Canada actually have similar odds in this to come out of this one. So they aren't favorites to come out of this group. Belgium and Croatia are, but Croatia were runners-up in 2018, as mentioned. So, I mean, that's a pretty nice run there for them. So, they have a nice squad. They're going to be coming back. I think if they can make the semifinals or better, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves out of this Group F coming into this one. But, Devil Doc, let's go Croatia. So, keep voting, guys. Canada 3, Belgium 2, Croatia 2. No votes for Morocco yet. But keep voting in the chat, and this is going to be a fun one. So, what else do we have here? Croatia lost the finals last World Cup. Yep. Robbie or Robbie? Is this football wife?
She referencing how I hate that he changed his name from Robbie to Robbie.
Yeah.
I'm talking football now.
Yeah. Malone is 6'2". He's just always standing next to basketball players.
Yeah, he probably is 6'2", but he doesn't look 6'2". I know he's actually taller than me. Never mind then.
My family's Croatian and Ukrainian, so I always root for Croatia. Love that, Devil Doc. I love that. That's
nice.
That's the one thing about World Cup. It brings out your heritage of you're back. Obviously, Scotty, you love England. I have that Spanish/Italian, but I've always been Spanish, so I always go Spain. You kind of root for those heritage kind of vibes when it comes to World Cup. So, that's awesome. I like it. SoCal Buckeye, what's going on, SoCal? I haven't been in here since that first time you started a long time ago. I finally got my account unlocked from Twitch after this time and subbed. Let's go, SoCal. Welcome back.
Thank you, SoCal.
I do see that first badge there. A founder 3 months. Yeah, welcome back.
What? Well, why did? If you don't mind sharing, why did you get it suspended? And for how long?
By the way, guys, we're getting into NFL Week 11 coming up here once we finish out Group H. So don't go anywhere. We will be covering also all USA World Cup games here live on the Action Lab on Twitch. Make sure you guys join in. Hit that follow button if you have not already. And we can't wait to have you guys as a part of this big event coming up here. I got to find that pic of Juju standing next to Big Al when they were still teammates. 7. Croatia, Belgium, Canada, Morocco. Okay, so you got Croatia coming out number 1 in this one. I didn't get suspended. I lost my password, and they wanted to see my ID. Okay, fair enough.
Gotcha.
Hey, SoCal, it's good to have you back, my friend. Back from jail, says Cuban. There you go. All right. Where's G Girl? Is G Girl still here? You got. Oh wait, no, this is Group G. Sorry, we're not.
It's Group G. Don't get her too excited.
Group G.
All right.
Where the favorites reside. We have Brazil, who. Let's just put it like it is. It's World Cup title or bust. That's where things are at here. They have Neymar, one of the best players on any team around the planet. They're 5-time champions. Let's just say they've had some success in 1958, 62, 1970, 1994, and 2002. So they are no stranger to winning it all, and they're no stranger to being favorites here. So, interestingly enough, should we ever see a rematch between Brazil and Argentina from the last time they played? Messi has a little bit of a way of being the Achilles heel for Brazil. So just throwing that out there. But I can't wait to see this unfold here. There are other teams in this one: Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. So when it comes to this, there's no question that Brazil is going to probably win out in this group. Switzerland is up there, in some of these, some of the betting odds as well. Switzerland's kind of been in the World Cup mix. They were in the World Cup mix last year, and they are in it, their last World Cup and this World Cup as well. And Serbia is kind of similar odds as Switzerland. So those two are kind of, in the same spot here. Cameroon is probably the last team that you would want to take coming out of this group. So it's just going to be whether or not you think Serbia or Switzerland is going to come out of this one. Serbia finished 4th place, is this highest finish ever in 1930 and 1962. And then they finished 18th in 2018 in the group stage, whereas Switzerland finished in the round of 16 in the last World Cup, but their highest finish ever has been in the quarterfinals. So, Scotty, I think it's coming down. We already know probably Cameroon finished last in this group. Brazil finished first. Who finishes second?
I'm gonna slightly lean towards Switzerland, but honestly, it's a toss up for me. They're pretty evenly matched. It's just, even when I say it out loud, I'm not sure, but a slight lean to Switzerland for me. Chris, Brazil's just so talented though. Like when I said that the U.S. has the best roster they've ever had, and they don't have a top 50 player in the World Cup according to ESPN, I think Brazil had 8 or 9 of the top 50. Like, that's how dominant they are. That's how good they are. So, starting with Neymar, who I think was certainly in the top 10. So, it'll be interesting to see when you have all those expectations that Brazil does. But, yeah, listen, I've never cheered for Brazil, but you can't dispute that they're fun to watch.
Yeah. I think a lot of people end up, when it comes to Brazil, it's a team that, you're like, all right. It's like the Alabamas of the world and the Yankees of the world. You see them there all the time, so you're always like, okay, like I'm tired of seeing Brazil have so much success, and I want to see someone else. But I mean, it's fantastic to watch this team play. Like, they are absolutely a fun team to watch. So go make sure you guys are watching some of these. If you're not watching USA, check out some of these others. Look at some of the talent on these teams. It's a lot of fun. SDG, there are 2 teams that I love watching lose: Brazil and England. There you go.
Fair enough. Sometimes better than cheering for another team, it's almost more valuable to have teams you hate. Yeah.
G Girl, I root for USA, Italy, Argentina, Ireland. That's I have in my blood. There you go. So, hey, you can have a few teams. Does Ireland have a team? They do. They just
not in the World Cup.
Yeah, they do have a team though.
Because they're a country, so all countries have teams. Chris, that rule.
7 Slide. Glad to see you guys covering World Cup. Let's go. Hey, we definitely are big World Cup fans. Scotty and I have mentioned that plenty of times. We know we're a big NFL, NBA stream, and we do a lot of those leagues and even NHL a lot of times. But when World Cups rolls around, we haven't had a chance, Scotty. We've only been live going on 2 years. We haven't had a chance to do World Cup on the ActionLab. So This will be a lot of fun. Brazil talent is unreal. So when do we move from flop ball to football? Short.
There is some flopping in soccer.
7.
I don't know if you guys noticed that.
7 Sly, thank you for the biddy. Appreciate that love. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. SDG, I stopped cheering for Brazil in 2002 after the Turkey game where I think Ronaldo is that?
Ronaldo.
Yeah. Dove after getting the ball. Yeah. So, hey, fair enough. That's fair. Let's
Remember
go.
when Ronaldo got like really fat and inspired all people that you can still kind of be decent at soccer even when you put on weight?
Anything is possible. Yeah, it's exactly right. SoCal Buckeye. Let's go Ecuador. Okay, all right, going with that Ecuador pick. I see. NBA says Cuban when you're talking about the flopping. Devil, what do you got here?
When I was little, my parents always fed me alphabet soup, claiming that I liked it, but they were just putting words in my mouth.
Oh, there it is.
Nice.
Hi-oh. Last group. All right, now for real. I got you. You got a couple good-looking dudes in these in this last group here, G girl. So there's your boy Cristiano Ronaldo.
Why don't we just rate this group on who's the most handsome, Chris?
I mean, we could, but you know, I think we would already be, we already know kind of what's going on with that. Scotty, we have Group H here, and you know, this one is an interesting one. You got Portugal, you got South Korea, you got well, hold on, give me a sec.
Uruguay?
Yeah, Uruguay. I was blanking. I was like,
in Ghana.
Why am I blanking on Uruguay?
That's Luis Suarez. You can't pick him
Suarez.
as the most handsome because he like bites ears and shit.
Yeah,
he's a weird dude.
He's
an ear biter.
He's good. He's like the Mike Tyson of soccer. Like literally, he's good. He's really good, and he bites people's ears. So
He bites ears.
Scotty, what do you like in this one? Obviously, I don't know. Cristiano Ronaldo. Portugal's good, right? I think Portugal and Uruguay are both the teams that I feel are the stronger pieces in this Group H. And I think South Korea and Ghana, I think that they're just lucky to get out of the group stages if they possibly can. However, I just think those other two teams are just way too talented.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting. There's no team that I think is like far and away better in this one, but there's some depth to it. I think South Korea is probably better than people think. Uruguay always puts on and is, you know, Uruguay is probably right there behind Brazil and Argentina in South America as far as top teams. So there's a lot of talent there. And I don't know a ton about Ghana, Chris, outside of this is the first time that U.S. is not like, it seems like every year the U.S. plays Ghana in the World Cup when they're in it. And we couldn't be further away this time. So hopefully we won't have to play Ghana, although they are the lowest ranked FIFA ranking in the entire tournament. So maybe we want to, this is like the year you want to play them. They're not as good as they were in prior years, and we're going to miss them.
Portugal's one of the top, I think 7 or 8 teams betting wise for this tournament. And honestly, I think Portugal's great. I just always think they're overrated.
They never show up.
I just think they're always...
The U.S. dominates them all the time when they're in the same group. I think that the last 2 times they've been in the same group, U.S. has beat Portugal in the World Cup.
I just think they always tend to be a little bit slightly overrated based off of the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo is the face of that team. And their team, I mean, compared to like a Lionel Messi team, with him being the face of that, I just think Argentina just has a better roster. Portugal has a okay roster. They just always get inflated based off of Cristiano. I get that, but it's just weird. Uruguay's right behind them, or Uruguay, if you want to. I mean, there's however you want to pronounce it. I think they're going to be. They're a team. I think they're good. They've kind of had their struggles choking once they get into the round of like 16, and they just like, yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if I'm like super high on anybody coming out of this group and having success. Is what I guess what I'm saying.
I got you.
Uruguay's best team was in 2010 when they were scary. Yeah, 7. I think I agree. Whoopsies. They did not have a good classification. They entered the rep charge, but they
on repechage, like reputation, Chris.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I think reputation. This is the reputation.
Maybe? Is that the word they were trying to say? Maybe not.
I mean, is that what it is? I mean, this is a reputation group.
I mean, you
right
can't
here, right?
you can't get in by reputation because you literally have to qualify. So I don't know. I'm gonna repage.
Uruguay best team. Yeah. They were young back then. Squad is old. Thing. Yeah. So they've kind of looks like they've gotten a little older. But there you go. That's the whole World Cup preview that we had for you. We are gonna make sure that you guys, we would definitely not want to send you into one of the most fun tournaments on the planet without knowing what's happening with these. Hey guys, if you missed the first part of this preview, go ahead. We're gonna upload this to YouTube. Go ahead. Reckoning, can you throw our socials in the chat so people can join in? Go follow our YouTube because I upload all of our VODs to YouTube, and then also go check out our Twitter so you know when we're going live as well, or any updates that we post. So make sure you guys are checking in on all those. And then Discord. We are going to be talking a lot during the Discord during the World Cup. So ! Discord in the chat, and you will be able to join in and just chat with us, have some fun, talk some trash, do whatever you want, share your insights or your thoughts. So there you go. There's the link for Discord. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us for this World Cup. It's going to be a lot of fun. Sorry, they entered a World Cup in last place. In the last place. Okay.
Oh, in the last place in their, what are they? Are they CONMEBOL? Is that what they are? Well,
yeah. Well, yeah. All right, guys. So there you go. Now that we have wrapped up the World Cup preview, all you got to do is, again, go out and watch some. Like, even if you're not a big fan of soccer, watch some of these games, watch some of these players. You won't regret